Total Drama has some insane adult jokes. Like, how many of us had our parents enter the room while these kinds of scenes were playing? So today, I'm gonna show you the craziest Total Drama adult jokes. Number 1. In Total Drama Island 2007, only a few people were brave enough to mess with Duncan. But probably the most iconic one was Owen in this scene.
What are you looking at?
Oh, nothing. Bambi.
Number 2. Harold had his awkward moments during the series, yet his most embarrassing moment was when he woke up butt-ass naked in front of the girls. I get that it was funny, but still, I wonder why they were smiling like that. Number 3. Even though Dramarama has a much younger audience, the creators from Fresh TV couldn't help but put some adult jokes in here, like the scene with Jude. Number 4. Total Drama had a lot of cursing scenes, yet for obvious reasons, most of them were censored. Most of them, except one. When the creators found a way to leave a scene like this uncensored without facing any consequences.
I am a CIT! More like a BITC. Guys!
Number 5. Chris had his weird moments during the series. It was his first interaction with Lindsay.
Not too shabby.
Hi!
Then his discussion with Duncan about Gwen's situation.
You don't see that every day.
No, you don't, my man.
Which is pretty insane considering that both of them were only 16. But the weirdest thing was his love for Larry, which resulted in this. This is probably the most cursed scene in Total Drama. Number 6. One time after he gets injured in Total Drama action, Harold says,
I think you broke my coccyx.
if you guys didn't know, coccyx is a fancy word for the tailbone. But come on, we all know that the producers used this word to make it an adult joke. They did the same thing with one of Lindsay's confessionals.
Nobody can even touch my tomatoes.
Number 7. Duncan and Courtney had a special chemistry during the first 2 seasons. But I think that Duncan enjoyed a little too much when Courtney said this.
Play dirtier! What?
I like when you talk like that.
Number 8. Back in 2007, Total Drama was not afraid of showing us some really weird humor, if that's what you can call this scene.
What are you? Some kind of freak?
You just smell really pretty.
It's just soap.
I mean, come on, Cody, what was that? You really have to reevaluate your moves. Fortunately, you made up for that mistake when you helped Trent and Gwen get together later in the season, but not before messing up one more time.
If I got your bra, he'd do all my dishes for the rest of the competition. Oh! Enjoy dish duty, my good man.
Number 9. If the original Total Drama Island was full of obvious adult jokes, in the reboot, the creators were much more subtle. During Ripper's audition tape, in the part where he's in jail, if we look closely at the board the other way around, we can see the word boobies. Number 10. Even when they were enemies, there was always a romantic tension between Heather and Alejandro, like in this moment right here.
Bring it! Blah, blah, blah. Guess what? I can just turn you off.
Of course you can. You're an expert at turning people off.
Number 11. Talking about romantic tension, during Total Drama action, Harold and Lashana were shown having feelings for each other, even though neither of them wanted to admit it. Lashana kept accusing Harold of having a crush on her, while Harold accused her.
Donna isn't over me yet. I see the way she looks at me, like she's unpantsing me with her eyes.
Number 12. Body positivity is an important aspect of our day-to-day society, but I guess Chef got it wrong in this scene.
The body's a beautiful thing. You don't need a suit.
Number 13. Julia had some amazing strategies during the reboot, yet probably the most weird and iconic one was this.
You get it by squeezing their udders. You know, those dirty, disgusting pink bags.
Number 14. Noah had a habit of making jokes about the other contestants, but bro, he did Cody dirty in this scene.
Cody's got a tiny sausage.
At least my team has a sausage.
Number 15. One time in Total Drama World Tour, Gwen needed to search through Cody's pockets. That's when she finds some special pair of glasses. Although this scene alone was enough adult humor for one episode, the creators decided to go even further with this scene. Number 16. This one doesn't even need an introduction since it is probably the most popular scene from Total Drama Island. It's crazy that the producers actually showed this to kids on Cartoon Network and Teletoon. But what's even crazier, and a little bit weird to be honest, is that there's still an actual uncensored version made by a fan, and it's still available on YouTube. Number 17. Talking about crazy fan-made scenes, apparently some people thought that there wasn't enough content with Alejandro and Tyler, and decided to create an extra scene with these two.
Back that favor.
I like girls.
Then why are you blushing?
Number 18. Although the show put the contestants at risk very often, in the end, most of them did just fine. However, I don't think that Trent wanted to be saved in this scene. Number 19. Some things that really make Total Drama so good are the small details like cameos, or little jokes that can surprise you even after you have already seen the season once, like this scene where we can see Owen lacking. Number 20. The songs from World Tour were some of the most memorable parts of the season, especially considering some of the lyrics like,
I can only strip Cody, and he can only strip me.
or
Loser is what the lion called you when you couldn't find your balls.
Number 21. Although it was a spin-off, Redonkulous Race has its fair share of adult jokes, like this confessional.
Take hikes, not humps.
Or we could call it something else.
So I guess it earned its place in the series. Number 22. Lashana was always one of a kind. Even so, during the series, she had some moments that were too much for a kids show. Like that time when Gwen and Bridget found out that she is the girl who has a secret admirer, or when she helped Harold with his plan in Total Drama Action.
What? You never seen Triple D's before?
Number 23. You know that the adult joke is way too much for a cartoon when Cartoon Network decides to delete it. In the original version of the 5th episode of Total Drama World Tour, there was a scene where Cody fell between the Statue of Liberty's. Not only that, but then we got a scene where Cody and Chef talk about how his life nearly ended.
But what a way to go.
True that.
Number 24. The next one is more subtle, but in Total Drama Action, Duncan says,
I'm pretty much a Houdini at tying and untying stuff. Came in handy a bunch of ways I don't think Ma had in mind.
this refers to, let's say, the romantic way of tying the knot. Number 25. You know how it says that if you are mean to nature, nature will eventually get back to you? I think that Heather gets that pretty clear in this scene.
Off me, you rabies-carrying glorified rat! Ah! Stop that!
Number 26. Although this one is clearly an adult joke, it's a bit of a stretch.
They're all over me, and they're biting at my nuts.
Number 27. Remember how in the eating challenge from Total Drama Island 2007, the so-called meatballs looked very weird? That's because they weren't actual meatballs. As Chef said in the original uncensored version of the episode, they were...
It's beef testicle, bourguignon.
Number 28. I have to remind myself to never get Total Drama lines out of context.
A battle of the sexes.
Number 29. There are so many ways to say that your team is not good. Yet in one confessional, Courtney chose to say it like this.
We are so sucking right now.
Number 30. In one challenge from Total Drama Action, the contestants are separated into two groups. One of them is made to wear cow udders on their heads. That's when Harold says,
I have cow boobies on my head.
Number 31. Before becoming a nice guy in Total Drama All-Stars, Duncan had some legendary villain moments. Yet, out of all of them, this is probably the most disgusting one.
Want us to take your temperature with this thermometer?
Is that a rectal thermometer? You're the sick one.
Number 32. Z was always a wild card, but probably his most iconic scene was when he said,
I've never been this high before.
Number 33. From all of Izzy's crazy backstories, probably the most relevant for adults was the one about that time when she stalked her ex-boyfriend. Having a stalker is already bad enough. Imagine having one that has athletic skills and an IQ score higher than Elon Musk. Pretty hard to dodge that one. Number 34. Owen was one of the most liked contestants, Yet I think that no one was happy when he did this.
Or fulfilled any of my Owen gets jiggy fantasies, like the one where
Make him stop!
Number 35. On the other hand, no one liked Dave, especially after this scene.
This story's gonna have a happy ending. The boy gets the girl gets the money. That sounds wrong.
Dave, buddy, you're officially the worst contestant in all of Total Drama history. So, there it is, guys. What was your favorite adult joke? Or more importantly, what was the adult joke that was on TV when your parents were around? Make sure to tell me in the comments. Take care and see you next time with a brand new video.